Councilman, there's a lot of confusion surrounding the events that took place over on Sayles Street just a few weeks ago. At a recent press conference held by the residents, who are homeowners in the neighborhood, by the way, despite the contention of those in other portions of the media, there's frustration. Those individuals are having to stay away from their home at nights at their own expense. There's the feeling that the police aren't particularly interested in responding calls to that house, despite the fact that it was the nuisance house next door that generated a lot of the drama in that neighborhood. And to this end, despite the fact that there's been one or two suspensions and a retirement, that, quite frankly, the police have yet to really follow through on any sort of paperwork with charges to the family children who are at that facility. And the overwhelming response of the police has been in supportive of some pretty brutal behavior. On top of that, there appears to be a controversy surrounding the release of additional body cams. What's your thought on this? I mean, are the police, at this point in time, and to pile on here, I'm sorry not to pile on you, but
no, I'd see
I was with the governor yesterday, and I asked him about, and I'll be happy to send you the video, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but essentially he seemed frustrated that the City of Providence Police Department hadn't been more aggressive in accepting the generous offer of support by the state police. So what are your thoughts on the whole situation?
Well, that's a whole lot of questions in one.
No, I understand.
and I understand it. I mean, it's first of all, what happened on Sayles Street. They are my constituents, so that actually worries me. The family has been under a lot of pressure, under a lot of stress. They have had a couple of press conferences where they have expressed their frustration. I am a father myself who lived in the area almost my entire life, so I would be worried myself if something like that had occurred to me. Yes, there have been repercussions. I mean, as you can see, two of the officers, one officer was forced into retirement. The other two officers were disciplined. It looks like the mayor is moving or beginning to move in the right direction in the sense that he's addressing the issue. Do I feel that it should have been done sooner, perhaps a little bit faster? Yes. I think that this family should not be subject to this type of behavior that they have been experiencing, that they have been expressing. So in that sense, they're right to be worried in the sense that they see things that are happening surrounding them, and I think that needs to be addressed. I myself met with the family and expressed my support in trying to get to the bottom of this entire thing. So I will be reaching out to them again because I am concerned. I don't think anybody needs to live in fear in this city, in this country, especially not in my ward. So there are still a lot of issues out there that need to be straightened out, that needs to be looked at, that need to be examined, and needs to be explored, and which is why I'm going to be engaging in that to make sure that we come to some sort of resolution where the family is satisfied.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, right now, there are volunteer neighborhood watches being conducted on the house because of attempts at vandalism and purportedly I'll call it a near attempt at arson. And they're being encouraged by certain members of the media who are calling out these families, this one family in particular, for all sorts of scurrilous charges, none of which appear to have any connection to reality. Is the Providence Police, in your opinion, doing enough to protect this family?
I feel that if the family needs to have neighborhood people come over to watch over them, I feel that there's something is wrong there. I mean, if this family feels that they're in fear and that they need police protection from the police must be given to them at all time if that's what they need, if that's what they feel, to be able to live at peace in their home. I don't feel that they should have to go outside of the system that we have in order to find some protection from their friends or from their neighbors. So that's something that I'm willing to take on. I really want to know what's going on there because they feel that they need to be protected, then protection should come to every citizen from our local government.
Very good. Thank you, sir, very much. And you know, in a sense, I hate to intrude on a happy event, but these are challenging times.
It's a happy event, but I think that all citizens should have the opportunity to be happy. And obviously, this family has undergone some serious trauma. You're talking about underage kids, and that needs to be addressed. I'm not sure if any counseling has been offered to those kids because they are just children. So all of a sudden, one afternoon, all this comes upon them,
Right.
and I'm sure they just don't even understand what is happening here.
Right.
So we need to think about the emotional health of these children, and whatever the help we need to offer, we must.
Very good. Just one final thought. I'm a city kid. You're a city kid. I grew up in the city.
Right from the area. I attended Riot Middle School. I went to Central High School. I still live in the same area when I came to this country back in 1978. I know my neighborhood. I love my neighborhood, and I'm honored to represent it.
Right. Well, it seems to be a cultural difference here, and I'll just leave you with this thought. The picture of kids playing on their stoop. I know in triple deckers we don't have stoops. I'm from a city where we have stoops, but you know the difference. Kids playing in front of their neighborhood on a well-groomed private home, and kids playing in their backyard, being kids raucously, turned somehow into allegedly an 18-car police convention.
I remember growing up and playing on the street. I remember playing football on the street. We opened up a few fire hydrants ourselves. It's just all part of being kids.
Right.
So just like the way you describe it, there's a bunch of kids playing in front of their home where they feel safe. And all of a sudden this happened. For one reason or another, this happened. So let's think about them, the emotional stress that this has caused on them. Because I'm sure they don't understand it. And that needs to be addressed.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're very welcome.